Hiya, I'm just going to quickly try to explain what is going on with our little algorithm to read data into some parallel arrays, organize it into parallel arrays. So, quickly, we've got, first of all, in my little demo here, we are setting up an array for forenames, surname, and sport, but not putting anything in them yet. So let's actually we'll put them here. Here's an array called forename, one called surname, one called sport. Okay. Next, we open the file for reading whatever file path we've been given. We're going to just give it the alias files just so we can refer to it easily from now on while it's open. And then this line here, line 10, we are going to read in the lines of the file. So we need to use read lines. So we're going to read in each line and we're going to store each line as an item in the array called data. So here's my file. Well prepared if I can actually pick it up. There you go, there's my actual file. So we've got something called data. I'm just going to do it here. And what happens is it reads in the first line, Nicola Adams boxing with the commas there. And then it reads in the next line, Max Whitlock Gymnastics, and so on. You get the idea. It carries on, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to fill out all of those. Okay, reads all that data in. And then we can close the file. Chuck that away. Okay, we've now got this stored in our program, all the data. Now we loop through each line of data. So this is just like a normal way of traversing through an array. The array is called data, and we could do for I in data. That would be fine as well. I've just called it for record because each thing's like a record of data. So for record in data. So the first time through record. First time through loop record will have. So it's a variable. But it will have this string in it, Nicola, Adams, boxing. Okay, got that whole string in it. And then what we're doing is this line here, line 18, is just checking if there are any spaces at the start or end. They can sometimes cause problems, like if there were any at the start. If we were trying to find all the people that began with N, then it would find a space at the start and it wouldn't work. So getting rid of spaces is just quite a handy thing to do. Strip does that. So it just strips spaces from the left or right hand side of record and then replaces it. So if there are any there, they're gone. Okay, next line. We're now splitting up into something called fields. So we're taking that record and we're splitting it up using a comma delimiter. This is just the same as when we used a delimiter before. And so we're splitting up whatever's in record using the comma as a delimiter, and we're putting in fields. So here are the commas, bang, bang, bang. So first thing, Nicola goes in there, then Adams, then boxing. Okay, so first we read in each line, then we're working through, we're taking the first line, and we're splitting it up based on the comma, and then onto line 24 we're taking what's ever in fields at index 0 and we're appending it onto the forename array. So what's in fields at index 0? Nicola. So adding it in to the forename array. Okay, next we are taking, oh god, hang on, we're taking whatever is in fields at index 1. Well, that's Adams, and we're appending it onto the surname array. So up here, there's index 0 of the surname array is getting Adams. And then we're taking whatever's in fields at index 2, well that's boxing, and we're appending it onto the sport array. It gets added on to the sport array, boxing. Okay. And then we'll loop back round. So we'll loop back round to start this. So it's going to move on to the next item, the next index in data. So we've done index 0, moving on to index 1. So record this time we'll have Max Whitlock Gymnastics. And then it'll do the same thing again. It'll strip the spaces, it'll split it up based on the commas. So this time fields is going to end up with Max Whitlock Gymnastics. I'm just being too lazy to write it. And then takes whatever's at index 0 in fields and appends it onto forename. So up here, get Max in there. Then it takes whatever's in index 1 in fields, Whitlock, and appends it onto surname. You get the idea, I hope. And index 2 in fields, which is gymnastics, and appends it onto sport. And so on until it's worked through every index in data, so it keeps looping through that. And then once it's done, by the time it gets to the end, we'll have these 3 arrays completed with all the data which was originally in our file, but now organized into these 3 arrays which can be used in parallel. And then we return them and they'll get assigned to whatever we've chosen to assign them to in our program. Okay, hope that makes a bit of sense, hope that helps you understand what's going on there. So things you could change, so if you had more than 3 parallel arrays, there are more than 3 fields in the original data, you just have another thing, whatever the name of the next array is, dot append, and then fields index 3. And so on. If you had less, you take one away. You change the names, other than that, pretty straightforward. Okay.